We are live! Not from Saturday night, it's Sunday. Rook is mimosa making. And we're on a delay! We are live! Not from Saturday night, it's Sunday. Rook is mimosa making. The Wi-Fi doesn't work. It is shitty. Shitty kitty. What a great way to start a Sunday style spiritual service than with the two gay guys, pagans, talking about shitty service. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, darlings. It is shitty. Shitty. So, hopefully you can hear the background music. This is Herknunger. I wanted to, while we're listening to stuff today, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Herknunger because we use so much of his music, and I keep saying how I've donated. I did donate once. I need to donate again because I do believe in supporting those that are supporting us. And he doesn't even know it, but he's supporting us by giving us some good Viking music to listen to, or style music. So I'm just going to read the about description. You can find Herknunger, and I'll post the name in a minute. But this is about Herknunger, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. Herknunger is a project that explores ancient culture, but primarily Norse Germanic aspects. It was formed over a love of ambient music, ritual, and folk music. The aim of Herknunger is to provide a very rich sound and coherence to Viking-era culture, to set an authentic sound of the old Nordic times, using instruments of our forebears over 1,000 years ago with a modern twist in production. My music has no copyright claims to it on YouTube, so you're welcome to share it anywhere else, but just credit me. Check out my Pond 5 portfolio for more, which I have also done. We have added, used all of his Pond 5 songs specifically in our like intros and exits and stuff. They're really nice. Very beautiful music. I truly enjoy it. This is what I listen to most of the time with meditations. It's what I listen to with ritual. And then he also does a live radio, which has a lot more vocals in it. I don't like vocals when I'm doing meditations. It messes me up as far as music is concerned. But that is that, and that is Herknunger about... it was really important, to bring that up for me because we've really been using a lot of his music, and I hope you can actually hear it because it's really good. I'll turn it up just a little bit. I need Paranormal Witch. Yay! Hey, welcome in. Oh, my mimosa's here. This is awesome. Y'all can tell I'm not hungover today. I didn't drink last night very much. Whoop whoop. And I got lots of sleep this week to make up for what I lost. But welcome in, Paranormal Witch. I am so glad you're here. If you guys get a moment, when I stop talking, I'm going to stay quiet for just a moment. I want to know if you can hear the music still. So let me know if you can still hear the music in the back. So let me know if you can hear that, because I wanted to kind of see if, what's the levels at. We want to engage it, but we also don't want to drown ourselves out. So, can you hear that? And yes, we are having a party. Me and Rook. Just party hardy. Hey, Dragon Dancer, welcome in.
Hey, Paranormal Witch. Hey, Dragon. Happy Sunday.
VG says hi.
Dragon Dancer got me liking bearded dragons because hers is so cute. Big mistake.
Oh, he and or she, I don't know, but it is very cute. They, the dragons.
They are very cute. Big mistake is very cute.
I don't think VG would like it very much. It's like the ferrets. Finn really likes to play with the ferrets, but I don't think he knows how to actually play with the ferrets.
It looks like we got some dark clouds, which
oh yeah,
I love. My name, Rook Tempest, so I would love for it to just storm like crazy here.
Yeah, it's really dark out. The squeaking is not part of the music. That is Miss VG chewing on her toy. She does it from time to time. Finn just ran through the dust that dropped on the floor. He's going to be sneezing in a minute. So yeah, we decided, I think we mentioned it last week, we decided to start the audio portion at 10:30, so this can just kind of hit a couple of things. We're trying to be more timely to give some early people the opportunity to join and hang out for a little bit, and to kind of go into maybe 12:30ish being our actual stop time. Now, of course, if we go over, we're going to go over, because I just really enjoy doing this, but we're trying to be a little more specific with our time and allow more energy and space for people to drop in. So
drop in, and then you guys can get on with your day, and then other people do different podcasts and stuff on Sunday. So
now I'm going to fanboy out again because Scarlett has joined.
Oh, the incomparable Miss Bales. Good morning.
Good morning. I am glad you are able to join. Yeah, it's got to be early. It is early.
Oh, you're painting? That's awesome.
That is too cool.
We need to finish painting our witch area.
Yeah, we're almost done. Just a little bit left. So Scarlett, since you're here early and you'll probably be busy doing stuff later, I'm going very, very slow, but I'm about, I'd say 100 pages into the polyvagal theory. And that stuff is freaking amazing. I have been learning so much.
Hey,
just
Steph.
For personal use and things. It's very cool. I'm really, really enjoying that. I've also read two pretty decent Jungian shadow books. It's Owning Your Own Shadow, and I keep forgetting the other one. One is by Richard Johnson and one is by Robert Bly. Both of them really good reads, and has been very, very, very beneficial to me, even though I did still have a mini human meltdown this past week. So
I hope you had a fabulous birthday, Steph.
yes. Oh, I forgot. Happy birthday.
I enjoyed seeing your pictures. It looks pretty amazing. And whatever that drink you had was, I want one.
These dogs have been quiet this entire time again this morning.
All fucking morning they've been quiet.
Hey, guys. Iris, you don't need the sympathy bark.
You probably can't even see.
Lord have mercy. So yeah, fun times. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that yapping in the back too. That's gonna have to stop if they don't knock it off here soon.
I'm gonna have to go in the back. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, I'll just put them right. Phoenix Rising. Ooh, sure. I like the name.
Yeah. Do you? What is in it? Is it a drink itself or is it a mix? Because that sounds delicious. So we've kind of structure changed a little bit too. Like I said, we're doing the 10:30, so we wanted to kind of hit a few highlights as we're still getting all of our little pieces put together and set up. Of kind of what we're reading and what we're kind of looking at and what we think of what we're reading. Right now, I am reading the Occult Sciences by Arthur Edward Waite. It's got a lot of different pieces and topics in it, which are pretty cool. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the polyvagal theory. I'm slow reading through that, kind of learning a couple of things that are pretty cool. I'm enjoying both books. The Occult Sciences is actually really good, I would say, intro to multiple different pieces. So it's not really giving me a whole lot of new stuff, but it's giving me a whole lot of basics on some other paths that I may not be specific to, or parts of paths. You know, like astrology and thelema and thelema, however you say that, and some other things that are pretty cool. So, Rook, what book are you reading?
I am reading Beginning Luciferian Magic by Michael W. Ford. I've been just wanting to find some books about the left-hand path, and I do have a couple of others, but I'm starting this one. It's pretty interesting actually. Very different from what I'm used to, but it's nice to read about the different processes. And a name that I've always been kind of interested in was Samael, and he's mentioned in there, you know, as Lord of the Earth, at least in this author's perspective, and one of the patron spirits of the left-hand path. So it's good stuff.
I like it.
It's interesting.
I'm learning a lot from books, and I think we've talked about it before. I do believe there really never should be a specific or a singular method or way to gain knowledge or to work with things. I think it is very important to have multiple. So to say not to read a book is probably not a good idea, and to say to base everything on what you read, also not a good idea.
Yeah.
As I'm reading, I write lots of notes in the margins, and I highlight stuff that I like. I even highlight stuff that I don't like. So if I highlight something that's like, it's not really matching or doesn't feel right, I'll write in the corner, this feels very judgmental, I'm not sure I understand, or whatever, so that part of that reading can go back and address it. And I may like to incorporate it, I may not. It may just inform what I'm doing. But I think it's really important to kind of say, like, books are really good repositories of information. And I always say these backwards, like information versus data. So you take in your information, right, and then you've got to convert it into something that's usable. And we kind of mark through or go through that process of, incorporating it, trying to practice it. Tarot shadow work is a very, very good point. I feel I understand tarot very well. I feel I understand shadow work very well. I have practiced it. I've read other books. I've done it with other people. And now I'm reading a book and doing it with somebody new and having a whole new experience. So it's a mix of all of those things I think is really important.
Well, and for me, I love to read. It's like a way for me to meditate, but I know I get on you guys' nerves because I constantly reach out and ask questions, So with good morning, Kelly. So with me, I love to read. I like the experience of what I go through, but I love to pick people's brains, other friends, practitioners, and see how they've what they've experienced, and that's how I learn too. So sorry when I annoy you guys, but I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep asking my questions.
I think what's really good about it, and yeah, welcome, Kelly. I'm glad you're here. I think what's interesting about it is, I think we're going to have to go live at 10:45. I think 30 minutes might be too long.
Okay.
We were going to try it out, but we'll see. I don't want to forget to turn it on, because then I'll go the whole time with that. But anyway, that's what I think I really like about it, is I don't know that I will ever consider myself quote-unquote left-hand path or right or any path. But you can certainly learn and inform your practice by learning those other things. And maybe you will change. Like, I might stay what I like to call myself as eclectic pagan forever. That maybe works with Belial or King Paimon, or I'm only saying the ones that I can remember, not for any reason, or Baphomet, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you, Steph. I did want to update you. So I have updated my Santa altar with the tequila, dark chocolate, money, and cigarette. And she seems happy. The tequila has definitely gone down. And of course her water. So thank you. I've kind of been doing that, and I light her candle anytime I'm home, as much as I can, and get ready to really try to make a connection with her just on a daily basis. So
yeah.
But her altar's been updated. Thank you for that. Thank you for that info.
And that brings me a question too.
She seems happy.
What are your guys' thoughts on offerings? Like, I need to, and I'm going to make my own. I want to bake and or cook my own offering for the Lord and Lady, the green man and green woman. That's kind of who I work through. But for Santa Muerte, if one of her offerings, for example, is chocolate, do you just put the thing of chocolate up there? Do you open it? Do you pull a piece out? Do you set it? Like, what do you guys do with your offerings to deity? Do you just put them out there and like have them available, especially if it's a consumable? Like, you don't want to leave cigarettes out there forever, right? Because they go stale. I'm like, I don't want Santa Muerte smoking a stale cigarette, though I don't think she'll care.
Right. So I just put the cigarette out, but my the chocolate bar I just left in the wrapper. I don't know if I should take it out, or if it's enough that she will know.
I was just curious what people think.
She will know that it's there for her. Any thoughts? Should I open up the chocolate and take it out, or leave it in the wrapper?
Yeah, and that's not just for her. That's really for like anybody. Like, I will put an offering up of some type of food or baked good, but when the ritual's over, I immediately take it out and discard it if it's consumable.
Oh, that is freaking cool. I can definitely try that.
Yeah, as long as you don't touch it with your lips. I will be watching you on that one.
You open your food and let it sit there when it's ready to be removed, because it will turn. Okay. Take it out. I take Okay, cool.
That's
For
kind of
all
how I do it.
spirits, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I do it, Stephanie. Kind of same idea there. So topics today, like I said, our first beginnings, we're going to do books we're currently reading. We're going to talk about any recent podcasts or events, which we are going to have a topic today that kind of continues on last night's conversation. So if you guys were present on the Malice Experience or in the post show, a lot of opinions were given and discussions were had. So we want to talk about the underlying pieces of that in opposition. This is a topic Rook came up with this morning, and I think it is a really good one, and it's a good time for it. Obviously, shadow work continues with us. I am moving through to the third card soon in the Star of Discovery with Tarot Shadow Work with Christine Jetty. So my first card that I pulled, we're going to be talking about on this week's episodes that we'll be putting out for the Eclipsing the Shadow. So that is where our ongoing projects are, right? I know. So I've been through the denial card, the denial position, and I've been through the anxiety position. And then I'm getting ready to move into, I forgot what the third position is, I'll have to look it up, but we'll be sharing those details later on the Eclipsing the Shadow episodes. Rook, how far are you on yours?
So I've done my first card, the denial card. Did you say what yours was? No, you didn't, right? So I've kind of worked through that, and this week I'm going to go through the others. But it's definitely neat, the process of kind of meditating and then going into the card, literally. And mine was a single person, so basically I took it as myself and was asking questions. It was really neat.
Yeah, and paranormal, I know we've talked about this quite a bit. It's just like from the Cauldron Witch says, you don't have to rush for deity or altar at all. These all things all come on their own. Don't be sad about it, because that, I think, will affect your ability to recognize when it comes. Just be open. Be constantly open. That's, to me, the key of it. Do something different. Like, a lot of times for me, my deity that I might be working with will change. Like, I always have my base deity, whatever you call them. The Lord and the Lady for me is what it has been, and or some representation of such. But like when I started working with Aelin of the Ways, it was because I did something in my life different than I normally do. It was a junction for me, and she just like literally came around the corner and said, "Hey, here you are. You're going down the wrong path here. Let's take a detour." So kind of look at what you're doing and seeing where things are that you enjoy, or things that you might want to do but you're too afraid to do, or something you just want to do that you haven't done that's attainable, and do it. You might find some opportunity there. So that's kind of where we are on that. News, we have a couple of news topics that we thought were pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and hit our video on as soon as Rook gets everything lit here. We've got our incense going, our charcoal going. I think we're all ready to go to turn on as soon as this last candle gets lit. And
Okay, did you want to cast our circle first? Or
yes, so we'll cast circle, and then we're going to talk about news topics, which I think are cool, and then we'll get rolling. It is dark.
I love it. I love dark, stormy weather. It's my favorite.
I agree.
Better than the sunshine to me. And I've been that way since I was a little kid.
All right, so as we do, we're going to do a quick circle call in casting of our circle. You can participate in this if you want. You do not have to. This is just our way, one of the many ways that you can. So join along, or go grab a drink if you're not interested in this part of it, and we'll turn this video on and get rolling.
Hear me, friends and ancestors from the east. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the south. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the west. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy washed into the waters of the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the north. Reach my feet and my hands, the earth in my toes and the work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of the earth.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my intent, know my heart, and know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know that this circle is safe, the circle is comfortable, the circle is sacred, and the circle is cast. All right.
And so it is.
All the squeaking and noise has been fun. Oh.
Ooh, y'all like the lights?
Yeah,
The
look at that.
Isn't that cool? Kind of goes.
It's on color change, so it's
Oh,
going to morph.
I can't figure out a point that way, and it changes. So
Yeah.
now it's orange.
So that looks extremely bright outside, but it is not. It is windy. The trees are kind of shaking,
It's very dark.
and it is
darling.
pitch dark in front of us and bright light to the left of us. So, oops, I'm not drunk yet. I promise. So news. So the news is in the top section, but the actual details are in the bottom. So if you wanted to start with your Hawaiian one, I think
Yeah,
that's a neat
So
process.
My news is about Hawaiian dual-spirited male and female healers from the past, about 500 years ago.
Thunder and
It is
lightning.
thundering. Called Mahu. And the article I pulled up was from NBC News, but it was through Pagan News Network. And it talks about 500 years ago, these Mahu, or healers,
Tina, come join us.
that were dual-spirited came to Waikiki Beach in Hawaii, and there were 4 boulders placed to honor visitors of the Tahiti's king who had healed the sick. They were called Mahu, which in Hawaiian language and culture refers to someone with dual male and female spirit and a mixture of gender traits. So the point of the article was to talk a little bit about that, but the stones were so neglected for years. They had been replaced, but at one point a bowling alley was actually built over the side of these stones. So now the Bishop Museum, which is in Honolulu, displays and highlights the deep roots of gender fluidity in Polynesia. One of the curators of the museum, Hinale Moana Wong Kalu, is a Mahu and one of the exhibit's curators.
Bless you.
The healers were revealed for their skills and hopes their story will show children in Hawaii that proper Hawaiian culture doesn't pass judgment against those who have elements of duality. So I thought that was pretty cool. So obviously they don't have the actual stones in this Bishop Museum, but they have a representation and exhibit and a little history and information on the Mahu.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. Kind of in the same line of things, there was a pretty neat article in the Wild Hunt column by Storm Fairy Wolf, which is a spotlight on queer pagan creators. Now, there's an obvious intertwining of the cultures with, the queer and many other minority groups because of what should be our openness. And now, while we have broke down that barrier of openness to a degree, we have created our own between each other, which is not related to or based on our skin color or our creed or our sexuality or orientation, but rather based on our personal practices, which I find very sad. But that article, if you head over to wildhunt.org, you will see it's one of their featured columns. It lists a lot of creators on there that have a queer background, but also in the pagan community. These are writers, these are artists, these are painters, these are people that head up these large groups, like Christopher Pinzak in his temple. I think it's Temple of Witchcraft, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to be wrong, but I think it was Temple of Witchcraft.
It is the Temple of Witchcraft.
Mm-hmm. Astrology. Some people writing some of these books, like The Little Work and The Worthy As You Are. That's Durgadas Alan Durio. Pretty cool books there that I want to read on those. It's all different kinds of people just listed here. Alan Spears and Jeff Cullen, both artists. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff Cullen does these sculptures that are freaking amazing. You can find them on Facebook. He gets banned a lot because some of them are relatively erotic.
Ooh.
And then there's Alan Spears. I think they're married, if I'm not mistaken. And Alan Spears is the photography. So if you ever heard of the Sabbath Tarot, like the really nice, expensive, gorgeous deck, Sabbath Tarot, that's Alan Spears. Let's see who else I got in here. Devin Hunter and Matt Oren, which I think we've talked about a bit. Also been commented on the Malice Experience, which is, authors. So authors of books of things, remembering that we like to read, but we don't have to agree with everything we read, but we can use what we read to inform our practice. The last article that I found that was really cool, I think Rook agrees. This is also on the Wild Hunt, wildhunt.org, that is. And this is referencing another journal, an actual journal article where in Lindbreen, Norway, in the medieval period, there was a path that has opened up in a mountain. And so basically the ice caps there melted and this path was then identified and found. What's cool about it is that pathways through mountains are often seen as liminal because they connect two opposing sides, right? Just like the liminal part of the morning, dawn, and the evening, dusk, are the liminal connectors of night to day and day to night. Those are really powerful pagan witch time frames. I don't know about you, but when I do magic, reading, meditation, things like that in those time frames of transition, it's always, for me, more powerful.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And for me, I haven't tried it at the dawn time of twilight because I'm never up. But in the evening, it's just it's so calming, peaceful, and powerful all at the same time. I agree with that.
Yeah. So head over to the Wild Hunt. It is a free website. It is a very well-known pagan news. There is some commercialness to it, but there are some really good articles on there. If you have the capability, you probably would be able to donate if you could. We've donated a few times, small amounts, nothing huge, but just to keep it going. Really good place to get some news from and some updates. So anyway, so this Nordic medieval pass, ice is melting. We've found it, which number one tells me that the ice has been at that level before. But this is what allowed them to kind of communicate or cross over into some of these areas. So I just think that's really neat, especially when it's kind of like historical like that.
Hey, Joy, good morning.
Morning, Joy. Yes. And I'm interested and excited to see more things that happen in there. As we find and discover more things, like not even just physical things in the world, but we'll discover more about how energy works and how things work with us. So, very exciting. That's our news for the day.
That's our news.
And I didn't want to delete or ignore Paranormal's question. So I just want to make sure, number one, always hope that you guys feel comfortable asking questions in here to anybody. I saw Cauldron Witch giving some information back, which I love, so thank you for that, because I can't answer that question. Like for Belial, or Belial, as I have heard him referenced to. I don't know anything about him, so I'm very glad that you guys are in here to kind of have some of those conversations. That would be a neat little research topic to get somebody on to talk about, too.
That would. I agree.
Remember, though, our commitment for us was we're never going to have guests on to be interviewed. We're never going to make a guest spot. What we would like is if you're in the chat and you have something you would like to share or something that you would want to discuss or be a topic, you reach out to us and let us know, hey, I want to kind of hit a topic here and we're going to make it work.
We'll make it work. We'll get you on here.
Yeah, we don't know how, but we will. Because this is a community thing for me. This is all about us doing things together. So, next up. It's so dark in here. It feels weird. Even when it was dark last time, it's not this dark.
And it's raining.
Welcome, Joy.
All right, so next we're talking about Sabbats and Esbats, what's coming up, the universe. So next Sabbat is Lunasa.
And we've been talking about Lunasa for quite a while now.
Yeah.
I am burning lots of dragon's blood today because I just am feeling this sweet, beautiful dragon's blood that we have.
It's the beginning of the harvest season.
Yep. We've hit some pretty hardcore pieces on this with the lore discussion of Lu and the funeral procession that does make up Lunasa in standard.
Hey, Doug. Good morning.
Morning, Doug. We also talked a little bit about the altar setups, colors and things. Now remember, if you don't have an altar, or if you can't have a altar that is expressed in public or where people can see it, consider just using an orange tablecloth to get that red or that sun feeling about. You can do things that are relatively innocuous that can really help you, just connect. And like Paranormal was saying, and some other people have said, we maybe aren't connected to a deity yet, or we don't have an altar. You can decorate, which don't want to confuse putting an altar together with decoration, even though they kind of go hand in hand. It's not just decoration. They're useful, but you can set up things that will help you connect to different times of the year and get in tune with the cycle. That's going to be very important, I think, in connecting. At least for me, it's very helpful. I find myself able to connect to Lu when we're working through Lunasa with the colors of red and the colors of fire, of creation, of harvest, of what is going to sustain people through the long, cold winter, even though we don't have that in Florida.
Oh, she's got her corn husk. Woo, woo.
Oh, that's exciting. We need to set the time to do that. I know next Sunday, I think we have a plan to do something.
I'd like to do our corn dollies next weekend.
We should.
I think.
But don't forget, we're set up to go to the antique place, too.
Saturday, yeah. And I think that's a cool idea. Steph, I've got to figure out how to do the call-ins. I've seen that work really well. Like with a friend of mine that does she does like God, what would you call it? Paranormal Vibe Time with Jerry. Yeah, paranormal thing. She has call-ins, so that's a good idea. It's a neat option.
I definitely want to do that. I would like to, because to me, if you're not comfortable with video, you don't have to be on video. If you want video, we can certainly figure out video. I just don't know how we're going to do it. Is it going to come through Discord, or we'll figure it out when it comes up. That's how it goes.
So I was thinking about personally what would I do for Lunasa? The first harvest, and it to me, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but for me personally, I kind of want to work on things, new things, or things that I had been passionate about. They've kind of fallen away, and that I want to bring in or manifest for around Yule time. I thought, what a great time to do some planning for some new stuff, whether it might be a new job, a new project, a new opportunity. I don't know, you could be doing some talks, somewhere, anything like that, and then through the months and seasons to be ready for the end of the year or around Yule. But does anybody have any different things that they work on for Lunasa?
I think one of the bigger things for me is we haven't yet, and it's getting really close. We've got to make our Lunasa bread as it gets closer. I feel like the process of cooking, no matter how many people, more people, it's kind of better for me, but cooking and using these raw ingredients to come together to make something that is bigger than the sum of their parts. That, to me, explains the harvest. This is a seed. That seed came from a plant. It's a cycle. It processes. It uses the sun's energy and really transforms into something new that sustains life. And then it creates a seed that can then redo that whole thing all over again. And using those raw ingredients to kind of make something, whether it's a craft. For me, food is always a great craft. But that is kind of where I see that need to create things as part of the harvest. And then, like you said, you'd mentioned it earlier, what are you bringing to harvest in your life? What have you planted that is now ready to be reaped? What have you sown? If you have anything to share that you guys have sown or planted in your life, whether it's a theory, an idea, a thought, or something you want, how is it going? Are you working towards being able to harvest it? It may take a whole year or 2 or 5, but just, you can see it in terms of where you are now.
For me, I've been working on, for example, paying a credit card down. So this would be a good time for me. I've been working on it already, but I want to see an end to it. And I want to look at my plan and what I can do to manifest getting that done by the end of the year. Because that's a goal.
Or from the harvesting perspective, if it's something you've been working on, you may not have reached the harvest yet, but you can see that the growth is good, meaning the balance is going down. Celebrate that. celebrate that you're making progress towards the sustenance that you need emotionally, spiritually, or the things that are going for you.
Woo! Business.
I love it.
That's a great thing, actually.
Keep harvesting that
Awesome.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Same stuff, same good stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we may at times think of harvest as some people, I could be wrong, but sometimes we get stuck on the actual harvest part of it. Like we're pulling things out of the earth, but we are of the earth. So we're pulling things out of for sustenance that we will put back in a different way. Transmutation and alchemy at its finest. You know, the gold we create is the life and the things that we grow out of that harvest. And that harvest happens every year. It's part of that cycle. It keeps us going. You know, community is a huge part of that. And it's balancing community. Like, I can't be 100% in the community all the time. I'd lose my shit. Especially after this week's event, which I probably will share again today. Because it just stressed me out so bad. But yeah, so, I mean, Lughnasadh is what's coming up next. Now, I did want to talk, too, about Lughnasadh being on August 1st. I think when Joy was here, we actually talked about that, and I probably mentioned it every time. But that's kind of important to me, that we look at dates. Now, some people are going to think dates are so important that if you miss the date, you're screwed. Not true. Let me tell you, just like with the full moon, if you, like for me, sometimes I can't do a ritual. I might even be at work until whatever, and I'm too tired, or I'm traveling on that day, especially like this past week. But all these things can get in the way of you getting to that full moon ritual on the 13th of July, which is when the full moon was. Well, if you can make it on the 12th, go for it. If you can make it on the 11th or the 14th or 15th, you can go a couple of days out. There's nothing hard and fast on that. You've got to work that energy and intent. Also, it doesn't have to be elaborate. So when I was away on this last full moon, I was not home. And I was also not in a very good mindset while things were happening, but I did go outside for a minute and I did look at the moon and had kind of a pull in and a discussion and a balancing, and the next day I think I reaped that at work because I was back to calmness, I was back to my normal state of being. So you know, don't let a date get in your way. The reason I bring that up is because Lughnasadh this year on the calendars is August 1st. If you really count through, and I know Joy has explained it too, but you kind of put all those pieces together and you find that Lughnasadh probably, as far as cycles are concerned, would have been celebrated relatively at this point August 4th, 5th, or 6th. So we're going to be doing our Lughnasadh celebrations and rituals processes on Saturday, the 6th of August. Also, August 1st doesn't work for me. I will say I tend to want to move ahead. Like, I'd like to have rituals before the actual date when possible. But am I worried or concerned that my energy or this isn't going to be as good of a ritual or things aren't going to work out as well as they should? No, not worried at all. So I really recommend and hope that you don't find yourself so stuck in missing that or not being able to do it right when because of life, or that you didn't even do one at all. Like, you didn't go out and do a moon, or you missed the Sabbath. It's okay. Like, don't kill yourself over that. Just
well, I was home for the full moon, the 13th, but I have work and mundane responsibilities. So all I did, I set my intent and I made moon water, and it was very calming and still a powerful way for me to observe the full moon, and it was great. So you can do as elaborate or as simple as you want to do, and don't beat yourself up if you don't do anything, but I found just the littlest of observances can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And I want to mention too what Steph's saying. I agree completely. 3 days before, 3 days after, just generally like what I say, kind of like to allow myself energy. But if I miss it, fine, I'll just do it next time, or I'll still do my work. It just may be a little different. And I do agree, when you do it on the actual full moon and new moon, I do feel like there is a difference in the energy, but it's really important, or what to me is more important, is that you don't beat yourself up when you miss something or when you're not doing it exactly the way you think it should be done or perfect, which is really important to me.
Hey, it's busy now. Just like
we
don't know the ways exactly that the ancestors practice. We can, we have an idea, but
Yeah, we have a guesstimation based on some historical facts, but
So it's a different time.
Yep.
The focus of life wasn't the same back then. It couldn't be. So there's no way, we can be traditional in a sense.
yeah, I kind
We
of
can honor parts of that tradition, but it's a different world. It's a modern world. It's a fast-paced world. It just flows differently. The energy is different, right?
yeah, and I do kind of feel like, it's not saying that anything goes. It's just saying that, like, if I want to do, like they say, and we talk about this, if you want to do energy where you're building up something or you want to grow something or make it bigger, you do it during the waxing moon. And if you want to do baneful magic or draw it down or make something smaller, like if you're trying to beat cancer and you want to do a ritual, you would do it on the waning moon, right? Now, what if you did that same ritual to banish something during a waxing moon? Does that mean it won't work? No. Now, aligning those things, and the more things you align, I think does help us as energy beings divine better and maybe stay more on target and more energetic. But does it mean it won't work? No. So we want to dispel some of those myths of you can't do it when, or you can only do it when. More of be consistent, and if it can wait, then wait. Like if you have magic you want to do and it's really important to you, which it should be, because magic I think should be important. If you can wait to do it. But if it's something you need to do, also do it. You know what I mean? Don't gatekeep yourself. My practice has changed. I didn't used to follow the moon. Are you hot?
I'm a little warm.
I didn't used to follow the moon cycles at all as far as doing magic, like through the waxing and waning. I didn't even pay attention to it. I just did my stuff, and it worked. I had good results with my magic. Now that I know that, I do tend to try to wait and make things align a little bit better. That's, I think, the point.
Yeah, and I think that the energy of certain things is stronger at certain times, certain moon phases. Excuse me.
That sage is kicking your ass, isn't it?
Ooh, I must have some
Demons
stuff
to
that
get
needs
out.
to be worked out today.
So currently in sun sign Cancer up until the 22nd, I think.
I need
So
to.
5 days. Yeah, go get some water. And I think you should do the tarot deck review this week.
Me, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll help. Pick a deck somewhere. I want to do something different. Currently in the sun Cancer, we know the Cancer is the crab, right? That's the symbol or the fourth sign of the zodiac. This is a cardinal water sign. A couple of you are in the sign of Cancer, correct, as your birth chart or your natal chart would show. It is a cold, wet, feminine energy as far as the base of that being a cardinal sign. So as we move out into the end of Cancer, we'll be going towards a couple of changes. Oh yeah, it's gonna be funny. Give us all your tips, because we're both hot all the time. Right now, moon is waning gibbous, 81% illuminated. We are currently moon in Pisces. Now, interestingly, I was looking around and I saw some different aspects. When I look this stuff up, or when I pull the information on the lunar calendar, I pull it in the morning. So recognizing that the shifts between the moon and certain signs kind of happens, it can midday, it can be any part of the day. So while the sun sign currently is Cancer, the moon, as it's going through its phase of waning gibbous, is in Pisces. So we have Cancer and Pisces. So think of these two emotions. This is a calm emotional period. Emotions should be, from now, the next couple of days, should be calm. It should be kind of low. It could be, balanced. Now, if there's a flare up, then that's going to be probably caused by some other energy in your charts that kind of push forward. Dragon Dancer, I love doing natal charts. I have had mine done multiple times. I've done my own. I actually used to teach a class on it at Sacred Mists, an online school. But I'd be more than happy to do a natal chart for just about anybody. So They're fun. They're enjoyable. They take a lot of work, and they are very, very ongoing. But I do have the system and the program to do the birth chart and natal charts. So we'll probably talk. Let's make that. Maybe we'll do that as a topic one week too. Kind of talk about how that works. So right now, hopefully, emotions are calm, cool. We're going to be moving it into a new zodiac. So we're going to be seeing how that's going to change soon. Most recent full moon we just finished, July 13th. Rook already kind of talked about that. Our next full moon will be in Aquarius in August 12th. Now, Aquarius is the zigzags, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see, remembering August 12th. Ooh. Guys, if we lose power, we will come back. We have backup. But just for the record, we lose power all the time during storms. Constant. But that was some good thundra. Next full moon in Aquarius. Next new moon is July 28th. This will be in Cancer. Now remember, Cancer kind of, I think, goes out on July 22nd. So how can the new moon be in Cancer? So remember, sun sign. We're switching from Cancer. I think Leo's next, if I'm not mistaken. And then my wonderful sign of Virgo. But so we move into Leo from the sun sign. So where the sun is in your chart. But where the moon is a 28-day cycle. So the moon is going to be in Cancer again. So you're going to see that Cancerian kind of move, right? So when you are talking the new moon in Cancer, this is the night that we want to, or the time frame we really wanted to hit the beach if we can make it work, but we have a lot going on. So highly recommend major water workings in this weekend, July 28th. Even though we'll be in Leo, a fire sign, from a sun standpoint, our moon is going to be our new moon is going to be in Cancer. And the moon, already a feminine liminal subject, is going to be even more developed. And so water working is going to be very important. Don't let your fire go out of Leo, but don't let it explode either. So manage that fire. It will take the new moon energy of water and fire to balance it. That's what I had in my notes. So that was fun. Whew, that was a lot. Yes. And so I like natal charts. I think they're very fun to do. I enjoy looking at them, and I see them, and you actually pull the ephemeris, and you're looking at the actual chart. It's very fun. So I will be more than happy to do those. The only reason I don't offer them really like online, like to talk to people, is because they do have to have your full birth date, place of birth, and time of birth if you know it, to get a real full chart. And that's a lot of information to ask of somebody to give up. So if you want to have one done, you can provide me that information privately, not in the chat, please. And I'll be more than happy to work a chart up for you and go over it.
Oh, cool. Maybe you could do mine.
I've done yours.
Have you?
Yes. Oh, hush, Tina. That's something I could probably do a class on too. Is how to,
you're good
pull
at
your
that.
national chart and the zodiac. So yeah, there's that. Lots of moon stuff going on, and I like the talking through it and working that stuff. It's really good because it gives you kind of cyclical information, and when you are working through the cycle, things work out a lot better. As far as being able to keep track of those. And it's not even the cycle of the moon itself, it's just you being on a cycle. And recognizing it and following it and paying attention to it is very fun. I don't know why I'm using fun as my descriptor so much today, because it's not really what it is. It's not fun. It's just, it's engaging and exciting. See, it's 11:30. We're cruising right along. Yes,
which is awesome.
Opposition.
Oh, opposition. Yeah.
So this kind of bore out of last night's discussion, I think, right? And then plus it comes up anyway. And we have coined a couple of terms that we think, and I don't even know if I don't want to say we coined them necessarily, because I might have stolen it subliminally from somebody, so I don't want to take anybody's intellectual property, but we have a couple of terms which I think will help as people have these conversations. So Rook, why don't you start?
No, opposition was on my mind because going through shadow work, just where I am today, it came up kind of after a discussion you guys had on the podcast last night. But normally, if I don't agree with somebody or whatever, I just keep it moving, just keep going. I don't bring it up. I don't say anything. And I started thinking about what does that cause internally as far as an internal conflict or inner resentment for that person when all you need to do is talk to them like a human being, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Move on like normal people. So, for example, like when you get on my nerves or you're bitchy, typically I would just walk away and go do something else. I would read, I would go work on a project, I'd watch a show.
I don't do bitchy.
Well, yeah, sometimes. But what I realized, that doesn't really do anything because the irritation was still there and still happened. We've never had a fight, and I'm glad for that. But I think what you started this week when I irritated you, when was it Friday?
Yeah.
You just said something about it. Hey, why did you do that? And why did you walk away when I was talking? And
my exact words were,
Yes.
maybe normally I wouldn't say this, but I'm very frustrated that I was in the middle of having a very important revelation and discussion, and you literally walked away from me while I was saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And the point is, I think, does it need to be said? Would I have gotten over it? Probably. Like, I don't think it has to be said. I don't think that every single thing has to be addressed, but
No.
it was nice to say it as opposed to just feeling, God, I can't believe that what I'm saying must not be important. I started assigning all of these negative reasons to it. Like, what a jerk. How disrespectful. Why would you do that to me? Why is it so rude? Why would you walk away from me when I'm having this kind of a conversation? And instead of doing that, which I did not do that time, which I think is a natural response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I was like, hey, you were just very disrespectful to me. You walked away when I was having a very, very important moment. And maybe you didn't know that moment was that important to me, or maybe you didn't realize you walked away, or whatever. I didn't say that, but I'm just saying, like, that was the reasoning behind it. And it was very good. But I don't think it's necessary to do it all the time, every time. Like, it's not always going to be a thing. It was then.
Right. Or to be a bitch or a cunt or an asshole or confrontational about it. Just, hey, I don't agree with that. Or, like I have a friend that doesn't. She's kind of a bitch, but the way she does it, she'll tell me, like, in real time, oh, I really don't think it's that, and it's not rude, but she tells me, and I'm like, okay, well, I can see that, and you move on.
Yeah, Joy, I would say, because this is going to be very similar to the discussion last night, I think that's too absolutist to say it should be voiced. I don't think everything should be voiced. I think it depends on the person. We had, just like anything else, we have to allow for people's individuality to determine what's right for them, but they should be honest about that. Like, there are people that are going to say, I don't need to say that, and I'm fine with that, because it didn't affect me that way, because their perception of what occurred was different. So that's what I think really matters, is expressing what our thoughts are as a perception of what we did or what we might have done. And that is really, really important to allow, and this is kind of what the conversation was last night, is allowing that space to exist where somebody is feeling or doing something different than what you would do, telling them that they should do something or that is always good that you do something, to me is a very, very, very negative shadow spec, because it gets you stuck into this thing of saying, well, I know I like it when people tell me exactly how they feel. Well, probably a lot of us would agree with that, but sometimes you're the problem and not the other person, and you need to deal with your shadow of why something frustrated you. And that's not something you should bring up, because that makes it the other person's problem, not yours. That is giving or making the onus of responsibility on the other person. Hey, I don't like how you looked at me just now. Versus, if I'm enlightened, in my head I might just be thinking, Normally, I would be really upset that he looked at me like I did something wrong or was stupid. But wait a minute, that's my projection, not his. So maybe I shouldn't say it, because if you say that every time, people are going to get annoyed with you, and you are not going to be able to continue those conversations.
Yeah, that kind of goes along with Dragon Dancer's comment, and you know, and what I could have said to you in the moment was, "Oh, I'm so sorry." All I was thinking about is that I needed to go get ready for work. I apologize. I need to go shower.
Yeah, and because what was different is the level of importance was different for me versus him. You know, and I needed to say that, but saying it wasn't for him, it was for me. It was selfish. It was personal. I reacted to it when it wasn't necessary to react. Do I think it's healthy to say it? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think that it's always appropriate.
Not every time.
No.
Because if you did that to me every day, I'd be like, well, damn.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but you know what I mean. But yeah. So that was just one example of that opposition and that part of the process, right? And part of that is coming out of really recognizing that and realizing that projection is not always bad. Like, I've always thought of projection as a negative thing.
Yeah, people can get offended. Paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good example of what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe, have you told her, hey, have you tried to like change the subject, or even tell her, oh, you know what, I really don't want to talk about people. Have you ever brought it up to her, or does she think you're just ignoring her, maybe?
And on the other half of that, maybe your mom doesn't know how to engage with you, and that's her shadow. And she doesn't know how to do things or say things that are meaningful, but she wants to keep an open conversation with you. So she chooses to gossip because she feels like that keeps you connected, regardless of what the topic is. That could be, and if that's the case, who's got the shadow there? Well, both of us, but it's always all of us. So.
But she likes to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe every time she gossips, say something positive about the person. That might, she might get the picture, right? Just
I've done that
positive.
Before. I can't believe what she was doing. Well, yeah, you know what? She's really good at makeup tips.
Yeah.
That was one that I actually saw in one of the reels, but I think it's really, I think the key for me, and this is again going back to our topic of opposition and disagree, is where and this could be this is part of my shadow work. I mean, for sure, that's why it's coming out so much lately, and it didn't, a year ago. Because I'm working really hard on space and allowance of other things to exist despite my disagreement with them, because my disagreement does not matter in their space, like in that space of things. Just like with Malice, me and him have two differing views. There's no need for me to change his mind or for him to change my mind on the topic. But what I feel in my heart that I have to bring to the table is letting people understand and helping people understand that it's not the disagreement that's the thing or the issue. It's not having different points of view. It's allowing those points of view to exist in their own space. So I think that's really, really important to me, that when we are talking to an audience, that we're not just fickle with our words and saying, well, you should never do that, or you always have to do this, or you know what, it's really important that you do shadow work. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe you don't have, maybe not. I don't know. I cannot say those things, and it's not, people take it a lot for not being decisive or being wishy-washy. It's not that at all for me. It is giving what was never given to me, and that is choice. It is the choice to do what works for you and still have a conversation about it, but be open to changing it. So that's going to be very interesting to me. I think the two phrases that we kind of came up with, I know people have heard me a lot say left-hand path adjacent, but it's really any path adjacent, because I'm not in anybody else's path. I'm next to it. I will walk paths with people, but I will branch off when I need to. I will wave from my path to your path, which I think is a very nice way to do it. But it is adjacent. Our paths are all next to each other. None of us are on the same path, in my opinion. Now, if you feel like there are people who are on the same path, maybe hive mind mentality in certain places and it works, that has its space, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody is on the exact same path. And Steph, let us know when you get those videos out. I'd love to check them out.
Yes, agreed.
Because you've got some skills, man. I saw that promo you did with walking down the hall and stuff. It looked like a hotel or somewhere, and it was really cool. The horror themed one. So let us know when it's out, because I would love to check it out.
Absolutely.
She took a good band and pulled down. Oh wow. Losing her ego. Oh. Huh. And hey, Ziggy. I didn't tell you good morning. Good morning.
Mornington. The other phrase that we kind of talked about putting together or kind of working as we put our own paths in front of us is diverging plane of view. So this phrase has come up before for me, and I like it because it takes a little bit of the grunt out of a disagree. Let's agree to disagree. I can't stand that. It's not agreeing to disagree. It's allowing different perspectives. They're different. Agreeing to disagree is basically saying I don't care what you say. To me, maybe not everybody takes it that way, but I kind of see it that way, and that's frustrating.
It's kind of like you're being flippant and disregarding the person altogether.
Hey,
Well,
just
what do you
have
have
to
to say
disagree.
about that? And you could just easily stop and say, "Oh, I don't see it that way." Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Or I don't
And
agree, but okay.
Look back at some of the videos that Mouse and I have done a long time ago. I say agree to disagree all the time, and then I also get mad when people say it. Talk about shadow work. I'm wrong. So I do that. So I want to change that phrase from agree to disagree to we have a divergent plane of view. So we're having a conversation, and our point of views diverged, and we're still here. We're still separate. Now I do have some lines. These lines are personal lines when they involve somebody's autonomy, rights to their own body, rights to their own pursuit of happiness that don't affect others, that kind of thing. So there are some hard limits in there that we can't agree to disagree, that it's not okay to be an asshole.
Yeah, and why not just say I disagree?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Disagree is just fine.
Yeah, disagree.
Or violently disagree.
Violently? Yeah, that was the new one.
I've said that before on stream.
I've been thinking of an opportunity to say that to you, but I haven't so far. I violently disagree.
It's hard to argue with somebody who's perfect all the time.
Woo.
So think about that maybe, and what are your thoughts on diverging point of view? Last night, Malice and I had a diverging point of view.
Divergent.
I get a little, what's the word? Idgity and kind of like excitable when I disagree with somebody. It's much heightened on stream because I have an extremely hard time interrupting people. I interrupt Rook now on this podcast a lot, and I think you interrupt me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good that way because we're bouncing off ideas, and I don't know when he's going to fill in space or leave empty space, and I vice versa, so it's fine. But I've always been taught you never interrupt. So when Malice or somebody's talking, I can't interrupt. So then something is said, and it gets a response in me, and then by the time I can talk, I've forgotten half of what I wanted to say because I've learned to try to listen to people and not formulate while they're talking. It makes it really, really difficult. But anyway, point being, I think the disagreement of things wasn't a disagreement. It was what I was trying to get out, I think, was more of a responsibility to say things in a way that do not make people feel as if they have to be one way or another. That's what was frustrating, and that's frustrating to me a lot because I don't have the ability to I don't say every time that everybody gets to do whatever they want. Like that's not it. It's just I don't know how to say it. It's a diverging point of view, and it's allowed to be diverging and it's allowed to be different. But we have to be careful that we don't tell people how they exactly have to bow. So those are our new phrases. We're going to keep those in here. I think we're going to talk about them for a while. Adjacent, which I've been using for years.
I like that one.
And started because I was goth adjacent in high school. I never dressed goth, but I only hung out with goth kids because we were all the misfits. I was the rainbow kid in the goth section, but that's where it came from. And then diverging plane of view. I think they just separate out and they're both okay. They can reverge back together.
And they do on some things. I mean, there's nobody you totally disagree with on everything, and there's nobody you agree with totally on everything. So it's interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see what she was saying. Sorry for.
I actually like to
That's cute.
have discussions with people I don't agree with, because a couple things happen. Either I learn something or look at something a different way and still keep my point of view, or it might cause me to change parts of how I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I don't really want to be in an echo chamber, but I do want people to be open, and I want people to tell me when I'm being closed-minded about something, because I can be still. Like, there are some things that I haven't allowed to become a thing in my brain, but one thing that I do terrible with is I do terrible at setting boundaries appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
I just let things go until they bother me to the point where I just can't deal with them anymore. I get frustrated. That's, again, part of shadow work for me. And it's not like the normal of, oh, everybody needs to set boundaries. It's literally being, like what I said to Rook. I can't argue with you if you say it to me, but that's your choice. You have to figure out when that's appropriate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I have to worry about that, and I have to be able to say, this is not okay for me right now. I am not okay at the moment. Or a year ago I would not have disagreed with Malice in that way. I would have just said, hey, now my thoughts are blah, blah, blah. But I'm getting more comfortable to say, I violently disagree with what you're saying. I think it is unfair. It is, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that conversation, I'm just making a conversation. So, in other words, I like to have different viewpoints, and I like to be able to consider them timely. One of the things that I think frustrates me, and one of the reasons why I like reading books more than anything, like to get information, is because when somebody is in front of me and we're having a discussion, it is very easy to not realize what the actual topic is, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like sometimes when I'm communicating with people, what we're talking about is not what I think we're talking about. And so we go out on different paths, or we communicate in a way that kind of diverts what the actual topic is, and then I get confused because I'm not the smartest person in the world. But, I get confused, and then I can't manage what's actually happening, and that's frustrating for me. And so then it gets frustrating, and then that frustration looks like failure, and that frustration looks like unable to make your point. And it's like, no, this isn't what we were talking about. This isn't what, you know what I mean? And it's me that's having that miscommunication. So trying to work through that and kind of do that part of the process and really get something going.
Hey, Maisha.
Cauldron, which I've actually, I violently disagree with. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I think you're right, especially when it comes to for sensitive topics. For me, especially when it's that first initial kind of pulling. You're learning new people, or you're in a new group of people. Probably not the greatest idea, because people will take that one thing and that's, oh, now you are the person that blah 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 blah. That's what would have happened if I would have been like, oh, Malice voted for Trump. This is blah 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 blah. Or Brad voted for Trump. This is blah 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 blah. Now that's the one thing about him that I will never like. He didn't. They didn't. I'm just using these as examples. Not that it matters. But using that now as what their label, their target is, and now I can't continue past it. But with your close friends, I think it's really good to attempt sensitive topics, and I think it's good to engage people with sensitive topics outside in a controlled environment where you have the ability to have a conversation.
Hey, Simona.
Because I think it really helps. So I don't disagree with you, actually. I do agree with you for the most part. But I don't want to keep friends that aren't willing to talk to me about sensitive topics. Me and you have, I don't know if you consider me a friend, but we are definitely acquaintances, and we've learned a little bit about each other. I really enjoy what you put out, as does Rook. And as we start continuing to talk about things, we are going to have a lot of differences of opinion. I can tell you that for sure. But I still want to engage. Right?
Oh yeah, it's not a question with me.
Exactly.
I definitely do.
But that's my point. So if you lose friends, or if you want to keep friends and that's what's stopping you, or that's what the part is of that sensitive topic, that's probably, they need to kind of go through their own things.
Yeah, people are so sensitive though. I mean, my God, they do.
That's exactly what I mean, Doug. Exactly right.
Sacrifice friendships, and maybe they would. Yeah, weren't really your friend. It's like God, When do I wonder when we stop being able to like have conversations? And I don't know if
1985.
I don't know if it's when digital came out and people, it's so easy to fire off something with your fingers. I don't think that's a big part, but I think it does have something to it.
I think that is a big part of it.
Yeah.
The big part of it really is, that whole idea that you have to have something so specific and set. It's such a waste of energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. And I think I'm going to disagree with you on that last part. You should never change who you are. You should never change who you are for somebody else or because of somebody else. You should always be willing to change who you are. Because who you are is not a static thing. We grow, we do better, we accept new things, and we become better at our life. So yeah, change. You should always be willing to change who you are, but not because of somebody else or because somebody else needs to. It's because you have identified that something needs to change.
Or what?
And that's kind of what shadow work really is all about. It's about allowing yourself to change based on you, nobody else. But there are a couple of hard lines. I agree with that too, Dragon Dancer. Those are really, really important. And I think that statement, that Cauldron Witch that you just wrote, that is probably the most important thing that I've seen today. You have to accept the person for who they are and what they like or who they voted for, and not hold on to petty crap. 1,000%.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you meant by the don't change, by the way. I was trying to clarify, I shouldn't have said disagree, I was trying to joke, but not change because of somebody else. And that's true. I think 100,000%. Should never change it for somebody else. Only if you want to and if you truly want to, like as far as those things. So I think that's really cool. I think that's a really important point to make. We really talk about all these things that are swimming around our heads, and I am going to disagree on something with every one of you, and we disagree on specific things. But those are not the things that define us as individuals or people. And I think Malice's discussion last night was a very poignant point on that, of how we can be different. And I will be honest, he frustrates the shit out of me. I wish he was in here so I could talk about him even more, because I'm not going to do that without him in here. But I get frustrated, and he knows it, and he gets frustrated with me for sure. He wears his a little bit better than I do. Like you can see it a little quicker but the point is, we always come back and have the conversation, and we still disagree on it, and we still move forward and play a game or do the next call or do the next thing that we're going to do. If I ever felt that I had to change who I was because of that friendship, that would be the line that you can't cross.
Yeah, that's true, Simona. Absolutely. How people grow, how we grow.
No robots.
New point of view. Yes, yep. Talk things out and get the point of view to think about. Agreed.
Yeah, and you can. This is why I like the phrase. I'm using lots of phrases and isms today, but the informing your practice or informing your knowledge. That's why I like it. You have knowledge A, and then like in this book or in this conversation, let's use a person. So I believe in B, and person A is telling me all about A, and I'm like, I don't agree with A. I don't think A is right at all. Like, that's so weird. No, extraterrestrials are not where we come from. I actually do think that might be true, but no, that's just no. A, you're wrong. Versus A, okay, I have all this new information. A thinks this, and this. I like that. That makes sense. I can see where that comes from. Okay, so now in my practice, I may not believe in extraterrestrials, but now I'm going to look at some of my deities a little bit differently to consider where their origins may come from. Mm-hmm. So I've informed B practice using A practice without changing who I am or what I believe in or how I go, and not mimicking or roboting A. I'm just going to be B still, but it has informed my opinion. It has informed my practice. It has informed my thought process. And I think that is one of the things we need to do with disagreements and having opposition, is let it inform us, listen, practice. Now, another interesting thing is, don't acquiesce to wasting time on things that you don't want to do, but you can still allow things to a degree to come in and inform you. I think that's, yes, I love Ancient Aliens, by the way. Dude, I can't remember his name with the curly hair that wears the headband. I love him. But yeah, so the shirt doesn't say anything. It's just a Baphomet head.
The head of knowledge.
The head of knowledge. But yeah, so like I think that's like the big key to me is really the fact that I don't have a mimosa to drink and.
Would you like another one?
I don't know why you don't just bring the stuff in here and set it on ice.
I can only have one, but I will make you another one gladly.
And you know why you're gonna make me another one?
Why?
Because I was so sweet as to buy a couple of those fake tails to mix, so that you can have a couple. But yeah, I just thought that was something, you know, that informing of things. I don't know. I know the artist, I just read it, was Matt Murray. It's a screen print. Do you know where we got these shirts? Black Craft? Black Craft Cult, he's saying. I have a lot of t-shirts. Like I'm a t-shirter. Yes. Oh God, the dogs are about to bark. Amazon is here. But let me say real quick before it gets really loud. Crap, what was I going to say? Oh, Cooking with Sola Alwili, Sohla. It's a playlist and episodes on history on YouTube, which I love history on YouTube. It's amazing. It's what I download and watch when I'm traveling all the time, like in the airplane and stuff. But her cooking stuff is so much fun. Like, you've got to look it up. I'll see if Rook can get the website and plug that in. I'm going to try to keep our phones from doing the thing with the doorbell because I don't want the dogs. I didn't do it fast enough. Hey! Come here, little monster. Come here. Oh, the little monster. Tina. This is my little monster. Well, our cable doesn't work right now either, so all we're doing is YouTube in the front. Dragon Dancer, and anybody else, I would love to learn more and hear more about people's experience paranormally, spirit, ghost, extraterrestrial, UFO, all of that. I really would like us to have that as a couple of topics once in a while. So if and when you ever do make it over, that might be our big topic of the day. What is it?
I'll show. It's 3 Santa Muerte books I ordered.
Look at that tail.
It's nothing for you, my petite.
My thinks it's for her. Oh, her breath is terrible, honey. Awesome, Kelly C. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you have a good day. Stay safe. Tell Mom hi. I'm not a fan of airports right now. I spend half my life in an airport, and I'm really, really still upset at Richmond Airport. So, yes, too much to write out in chat. That's why I'm saying next time you make it over, let's have that as our main topic. I would love to hear about that, if you're okay with it, of course. Or if remotely at some point we can set that up too, because that is a topic I want to hear more about because those are so interesting to me. Ooh. Nothing for me? It was all yours?
Yeah. So I ordered 3 books on Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte Devotion 101 by Arnold Bustillo.
Put it under the camera. I'll put it up.
Okay. I'm excited. Books are the biggest gift and treasure to me that I could ever get myself or ever be given. I love books. I don't need any more books, but I'll continue to get them.
So that's the Santa Muerte Devotion 101. And see, I do not work with or plan on, but I could. That could change. I don't currently work with Santa Muerte, but I will probably want to read these books to kind of understand it and inform my own practice.
This is answers and explanations for curious readers and new devotees.
All right.
And then
number 2.
I got Santa Muerte. Uh-oh, did I bump it? The Rituals, History, Rituals, and Magic of Our Lady of the Holy Death by Tracy Rollin. And then I ordered Devoted to Death, Santa Muerte, the Skeleton Saint by Andrew Chestnut.
That is too cool.
I got some treasures, which to me are books.
Yeah, and by looking behind us, you can tell we like books. That bookshelf is a minuscule amount of what we actually have.
Oh, I love books.
And still to read, I have a whole like desk that is just full of stuff that's so much that I can't even write on the desk. Like, I can't even see the desk. Girls. There's nobody at the front door. Tina.
Hush, hush.
Nobody's there.
Hush.
Nobody's there, honey.
Come here, sweetie.
Nobody.
Come here.
Nobody's there.
Come here.
Sorry.
Okay.
But anywho,
It's okay, look.
so
See, books. It was books.
all of my little things fell off when I was trying to burn some
Bookies.
Styrax. I love Styrax resin. Like, it is the best, most amazing scent to me.
Oh, I love that idea. Dragon Dancer, yes. A book exchange is an awesome idea. Love it.
Have y'all ever met a Virgo that allows people to use this stuff?
Well, I do. Come on.
I'm just kidding. I would be interested in doing it, but there has to be a system of accountability.
Oh, God.
There you have one. I'm terrible. I can't help it. It's who I am. Maybe
Look
I
at
can
Tina.
change that. Boop. 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 Alright.
Yeah, get
that
your
would be
notebooks
fun.
ready, girls and guys.
That would be fun. I would enjoy that. Did you grab a deck by chance? If not, I will go look.
I did actually grab a deck.
Oh, well, we're getting ready to start doing the tarot and tarot review, so if you have any comments, questions, or anything you want to bring up, now's a good time. Share any of your thoughts about Luna Sa, Moon, Esbats, the upcoming rituals, any ideas, thoughts, our topic of opposition if you want, anything like that, because we are going to review a tarot deck now and then do some tarot reading.
So as you will see, I have to assess the actual damage, but by the box that's about to be displayed. Funny enough, last night during the podcast, this deck came up, and it's just one of my favorites. I love the imagery, the colors, there's no borders, and it's the Morgan Greer tarot deck. It's an old deck, but it is absolutely one of my favorites. Can you turn on the camera? I just want to show them what Finn did to my box, and I got to look through the cards and see if he got any of my cards. But so can you see how he kind of
Finn would never.
he tore my box as they were talking about this deck briefly on the Malice Experience last night. Literally, my youngest son and only son Finn was enjoying the box, hopefully is all, but I just love the images on this card.
He likes boxes.
I like good boxes.
So what kind is the card stock? Is it really thin and flimsy?
I would say it's closer to a thin style, but the imagery and the colors on here just speak to me. It's something about the simplicity but the vibrancy of it that's just awesome. Yeah, he did. But this is the Tower card.
Oh, Finny.
And I don't like angelic looking things. They scared the shit out of me. But I even like this card for Temperance. I believe it's an angel on there.
That's a shadow you might want to look into.
Oh yeah, angels scare the shit out of me.
Angels-
I've never liked angels.
Angels do not scare the shit out of me, but they to me are very similar to like the Catholic cathedral, that gaudy gold over, and I don't like that. Like just from an imagery standpoint.
I like it. The Fool's kind of hard to see, but
So this is probably the third or fourth deck that A-Dog has gotten. Only one of them actually survived, and that is my steampunk deck
course, I love the death card.
I was digging a hole in my leg.
I just think that it's beautiful.
So these are matte finish, I believe.
They are matte,
They are borderless.
borderless.
They are not vibrant color. They are more of a almost like a watercolory, indulged. I don't know the word. Not ugly. I mean, they don't have to be vibrant, but
I absolutely love them.
Ma, I can't pick you up, honey. I love you. It's coming to you.
I think. Oh, here's another beautiful one to me. The High Priestess.
Cauldron, me and you have that in common. I love the Tower card. I love the Magician and the High Priestess. The Magician and High Priestess are two of my favorite cards. I do love the Tower. I love what it means.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he actually didn't get any of my cards as I'm looking through here.
Yeah, looks like you didn't.
But the box is definitely gone, which is okay. Maybe it needed some
Air.
air. maybe it was just saying the cards needed to come out. Okay. Yeah, I love these. Again, most of you probably know that deck, but it's the Morgan Greer Tarot. It just kind of expanded upon the Rider Waite deck.
That is
which-
awesome, Cauldron Witch. I love it.
Oh,
And those angel cards are actually, they're not like to me, they're not like scary. They're not like you would have thought they were. Like, I think you would like the angel cards.
oh. I think that's something I need to explore. Like that old Amy Grant song. Got his angels watching over me. Every step I take freaked me the fuck out. Don't be watching me, please. Don't watch me, don't see me.
Well, you know Grandma watches you when you're masturbating.
God, I hope not. Oh, that's just me. I guess that's my issue with angels. I've got to work out.
And it might not be a problem. It might
Explore.
just be how you feel, and let that be that.
I think it's kind of like maybe my thought that they're so powerful and they're angelic, but something about that word, and really I have a sense of evil about. I don't know.
I agree. I
I
feel the
take an
same way.
issue with angels, but
I did my super inhale breath because I want to share with you what is on the way. The Tarot of Light and Shadow. The Hocus Pocus Tarot.
oh, cool.
Our new
That are.
our new black scrying obsidian mirror that was shattered the other day. The Horror Tarot. And then there's 3 that are going to be on the way. One of them being Garbage Pail Kids.
Huh.
And Buffy.
Oh, Buffy. I want the Buffy,
But
the
Garbage Pail
Vampire
Kids.
Slayer deck.
Like, that is just freaking amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're gonna. I don't have a pen to write this down with. Do you have a pen?
I can get you a pen, and maybe nobody
grab
even
one.
wants one, but we can.
Bitch. Ass and sleep.
I think we made great time, much better time today. I like
Yes.
this system much better, more organized. Move along, let it flow,
So
do
we
it
did
and
say-
go.
We said 10:30 to 10:40 or 10:30 to 11 would be audio only.
Buffy!
We'll do like 10:30 until we're ready to go. So
The Hellmouth.
makes me want to watch Buffy again.
Although I love Buffy, but there's something about Angel. That show, that was like my favorite series ever.
It was more
Angel.
mature.
Yeah.
Nothing to me like this. When I look back, and this is going to be like, of all the shows that had the biggest impact on me as a person, Roswell, which I love, also was a huge crush on Jason Barrett at the time.
Ooh.
But Roswell is really good. I liked Buffy. I really liked Angel, but still Carnival is like my most, like I
Carnival,
love that
yeah.
show. All right, guys and girls and everybody. I should say that. I'm gonna start doing these balances, but I'm gonna ask.
Angel, yeah.
We're gonna do some readings. Rook is going to pull the first card for each person from the Morgan Greer, and I will be pulling from the second edition of Messenger Oracle to give a homework.
Can you light
coming
up
up.
some sage, babe?
Huh?
Can you? Is this still going?
No, it's dead. Good, there's blue sage right there, one of them. And if not, we have another blue sage in the thingy. I just saw it a minute ago.
I think I took it back
No.
to my office. Let me get it.
Carnival is just, oh my god, I love that show. So readings. I see Simona. Dragon. Meisha.
Alexa, hush.
Hit me with a card.
Had you asked Alexa a question?
No, you did when you were singing as you walked by.
Oh. Yeah, tarot will never be the focus, purpose, or impetus of this podcast for me. I'm happy to pull cards just to do it.
Why are you saying that?
Oh, I just say it just to say it. I like how it's gone today.
Rude.
Not rude, just truthful. Living my truth.
So as you guys know, we do like a 1 or 2 card reading. Each person pulls a card, but the last time we did this, it just went over way too far, and we have not eaten today, so we would like to get to lunch too. So we're trying to keep things timely. And to make sure, so we're going to do very short reads. So it's going to be 1 card and then a homework card. We're not going to like do this incredible detail like it's a reading you're getting face to face with us. So
No novellas.
I kind of looked back up. I've been talking about it. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So it looks like we have the order of Simona, Dragon, Meisha, Cauldron Witch, Paranormal, Joy, and Ziggy. So we are going to get through these in 26 minutes. Because at 12:30 we're done.
Y'all.
Y'all.
And then before I put too much energy in it, everybody I hope Melvin's doing better, but if not, on YouTube, check out Unexplained Possibilities. He's got some awesome podcasts, videos, and shows. Check out @From the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram. And she's got another channel, From the Cauldron Witch. Will you be going live today, Steph? On Instagram, also check out Lady Rose 819. That is our own lovely, beautiful, and talented paranormal witch. She's got some great witchy and different blogs. Be sure to check her out. Addie Estade on YouTube and Twitch, which is Mr. Malice. Check them out. The guys and Mystic do a podcast Saturday nights at 8 Eastern time-ish.
Yeah.
Check out Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch when she games and streams, and Mavethel. Mavethel.
Yeah.
Ah! Okay.
Cauldron Witch, unfortunately,
Oh, damn!
Rook ended up having to work yesterday.
Yeah, I had the state walk in my building yesterday morning and was there
And so that reminded me to cleaning the ferret cages in the house. So we just
most of the day.
didn't
Oh,
even
man.
look. Yeah, I didn't even look. That sucks because I really enjoy your tarot and your
Oh my
style.
god, I do too.
Anybody else have a channel or want to be listed in our call out? I am going to, maybe by next weekend, but not for sure, but I am going to make a credits page
Yeah.
that we are going to plug in right before the tarot.
On the waiting screen or while we're shuffling?
While we're shuffling and while we're getting ready like you do, you'll read them out, but I'm going to have a card up on the screen that's going to run through them.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So if you want to be on that call out, just let me know and tell me what you want called out. If you want, because sometimes there's things that people don't want to be kind of posted.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going to post what I see. And then, we want to give some access to everybody to kind of share the love and make sure everybody has the potential to kind of participate.
Did you guys
I
see
did not, and you know what's funny?
Oh, cool.
Cartermuch, I was
thank
literally
you.
just thinking that as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to put you on our featured section. So that's awesome. Thank you for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Thank
this
you.
isn't a follow back, repeat it. We really were actually just talking about putting you up
Yeah.
on our Two Pondering Pagans page. So we're going to do that too. It's never an
no,
issue.
Thank
Just,
you.
The
What are we
Two
doing?
Pondering Pagans.
Simona?
Yeah.
Is that who I'm thinking of?
Simona's first, yes. And I'm going to
Who's
switch over
Simona?
to our
To our cards, right?
cards here.
This is a much better system. How it's going and flowing. Love it.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually make a duplicate at some point here. I don't know if I can do it right now, but making a couple of changes. And to this screen that you see, where it's going to still show us at the top, because right now it's just this. I want it to show us while we're doing tarot. Maybe not for the other stuff. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to make that change too if I can figure it out. Congratulations.
Woo! 10,000. That's awesome. Scream Queen. I got to go to that channel and check it out. It's separate from the other two, I assume. That is awesome.
That is awesome. Sorry, I was writing something down so I couldn't think at the same time. Simona, you are up. Ooh, that card he got. You see it?
Yeah, Finn got this one. So you actually got a card that my dog Finn has blessed.
It was meant to be.
Well, yep. So Finn actually blessed this one for you. Well, the Queen of Pentacles. You are in charge of manifesting your surroundings and your life. You got it. It's going good. From a physical sense, possessions, earthly things. You are wise. You know what to do. You are a good manager. Keep that up and keep on that path, and you will continue to be blessed. What do you got?
The Messenger Oracle for Simona has said to seek your destiny. So this is going to be cute when she sees it. So seek your
Simona.
destiny. And, you know, we should always be seeking our destiny, right? That's part of life. We should be seeking destiny as much as possible. But
Let me show
in this case, the universe is specifically reaching out to you, Simona, to say, seek your destiny. What it is you are working on in the realm of the Queen of Pentacles. So in the realm of this world, the mundane life, you need to reach out and start taking it for yourself. So not tiptoeing around it, not just saying, oh, it's there. Oh, you know, I really want to do this or I really want to do that. It is time to actually
Confirmation.
go out and get it and take it for yourself.
She gonna
Whatever
do
that
it.
is. If that's
confirmation.
yeah, so that's from being a Pentacles card leading into this, you know, going right from Pentacles, from Earth into the air of seeking destiny. This is another action spread for me. This is a queen being who she is, knowing what she needs to do her bidding and to get things, and she likes the finer things in life. She's going to go out and take them because she needs them. I'm not talking about like stealing or being mean about it. It's just you go out and take them. They're yours.
They
That's
are
what
yours.
you need to do. Also leads me to believe that something is coming your way on the money side.
Yeah, and she's worked for it.
You're
that's
holding
why.
off on doing something because you didn't have enough money to do it, and that's going to come up to you soon.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. Dragon. Hopefully that gives you some clarity. Let me know what you think. Dragon Dancer is up next. So while Rook is still pulling and we're thinking through Dragon Dancer, make sure you're still in and hanging out. I want to point out that I'm using the Messenger Oracle. This is a second edition. I have both, with the only difference really being the second edition is a much thicker cardstock and it's borderless versus the previous border. So very, very interesting and very, very beautiful cards. I just wanted to kind of point out. So if you have Messenger Oracle, and it looks different from mine. That's why, because I'm using the second edition. My first edition is still put up, and Simona, very glad you like. And Dragon Dancer, I think you just got a jumper. Ooh. Oh, I'll let you do yours first.
All right. Trying to wait for it to come on into focus. I didn't pull it. The strength card jumped, clearly jumped out. Continue the way that you handle people, situations, and things with your gentle demeanor, being tough when you have to, but out of a tough love, not maliciously. In the near future, when something comes up and you have a choice to be a major bitch, continue the way that you do it, because it's the right way and it's the most effective way to where you're going to resolve the upcoming issue. And I think you can kind of see that. Yeah.
It's pretty. I like the Morgan Greer Tarot, and I don't normally like that imagery, but it just works for me for some reason.
I love it.
Now, from the Messenger Oracle, Dragon Dancer, you've got Time to Ground. And I think this is going to be very interesting because, the turtle speaks out real quick. The animal speaks out real quick. We know the turtle takes time, and it moves in its own ways. It is a connection to the ancient, super connection that brings water and earth together. So for you, and what I'm hearing and seeing from this card, is that you've been doing a lot of stuff, and it's been going very well for you, and you're comfortable with it, and it's stable. But don't forget to take that extra time to ground so that those things continue the way that they are. Sometimes when we start doing a lot of stuff and things are working really well, we do forget to take that time or that moment to stop and say, oh, wait a minute, let me retether myself back. It's time to take a grounding and just sit down and kind of process information. So really cool. I think this is speaking along with the Strength card, about this kind, slow pace. Don't rush things too hard, and be intentional. Hope that gives you some information from the Messenger Oracle and from Morgan Greer. Take time to ground. Take time with a wounded hand, 'cause it likes to heal. Oh, sorry. Oh, I used to love them. Next up, Maisha.
Maisha.
Is it Maisha or Maisha? I don't want to say it wrong. I would assume Maisha, but it looks like Maisha, and I don't want to butcher that. I'm going to call you as you wish to be called.
And I would hate to be singing it the incorrect way.
Maisha. Yeah, it's a little different. Awesome. So let's see what we got for you.
Yes. Woo! And in case I'm dating myself when I sing and nobody knows, that's from an ABC song.
Another bad creation.
That's right. Aisha was the song,
Yeah.
but I felt called and drawn to sing, belt out in song every time Maisha comes on.
And
So.
that is different from any other name, how?
Huh?
All right, Maisha.
All right, let me pull mine, and then we're ready to go. Well, she wants to come out today, Maisha again. The Queen of Pentacles. I have been shuffling very, very well. So, whatever opportunity comes, this is going to be either a work or some kind of opportunity in your mundane life. It's not going to be really a spiritual thing. When it comes this week, take it. It's a yes card. Do it. You're wise. You're planned. You got everything organized, even if you may not think it is. When an opportunity presents yourself, you're ready for it this week. And again, it's related to work or something in the mundane life, maybe speaking engagement, maybe an opportunity to do something with a friend or a partner from work. Take it. You're ready. It's a yes.
And if we add to that from the Messenger Oracle, show that you care. It's not saying that you don't show that you care in general, but it's saying take specific time to show that whatever is going on in the Queen of Pentacles world, that you need to take time and show that you care. Not just say it, but actually reach a hand out. Somebody around you is in need of a contact or a touch that you can support them with, even if they're like, I'm fine.
Somebody needs a hug.
Yeah, somebody in your life needs a hug, and the Queen of Pentacles is the exact person that needs to give it. So look around you and see who feels a little bit disconnected maybe, or if you maybe haven't reached out to, and reach out to them and actually show them that you do actually care, because they need to hear it. So, and in that moment, in that action, you will also feel, some balance for yourself. But show that you care. This is a really pretty card too.
Yeah, that is. I like the dragon on it.
Looks like an ice dragon of some sort.
Ice dragon. Don't be an ice dragon. Or you may be the one to melt the ice dragon and warm them up.
Very true. Sounds like a kid's movie. From the Cauldron Rich.
Ooh, snap.
Do, 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 do.
See, you sing tunes.
Never said I didn't. All right. The witch from the cauldron witch. Which from the cauldron witch? That from the cauldron witch. The from the cauldron witch. Yes, I agree. This one's taking extra shuffling for some reason.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Right? You're still going? I'm still going.
I don't know what you're doing, Cauldron Witch, but we've had to shuffle a lot extra for this one. Alright, I feel good. We're about to cut somebody. She's about to cut somebody.
Yes, but not physically.
With her words.
Oh. So, I'm just sitting here. Sorry. So I pulled the Knight of Swords. I'm trying to get it to focus here.
There it goes.
Is it clear?
Yep. We'll have to get a little stand to put them on when we do tarot.
Yeah, we need a little stand.
And a better camera, really.
So going forward this week, not with your physical might, which I know you could do, but with your intellect, you are going to encounter someone that you will have not a battle with, but you will have to have some words, clarifying words with, and just continue to let your intellect, intuition guide that conversation, and that is how you are going to get through it. Might be a slightly difficult interaction this week, but you got it through your wisdom, experience, and intellect.
And with all that extra shuffling, we ended up with
Another repeat. And there's like how many cards? It's like
Time
78
to ground.
cards.
Well, this
Okay.
is a 60 card oracle. I
60
think.
cards. Okay.
And in this, it's the same message as before. You need to take a moment to ground, but it's something very specific that you're doing, and you already know it. You feel it, that something may be getting a little bit away from you to some degree, and maybe that's what the sword card is about. Is something that's just it's not as close to you as you want it to be, and it's kind of pulling away a little bit. So you're going to have a come to Jesus meeting
With somebody. And you're going to need to...
And you're going to need to ground to keep yourself together from losing it, because it's going to be something that... I think it's going to be something that's really frustrating for you. Like something that somebody's done something to you, and...
They're going to try her this week. It's not going to be anything physical. It's going to be... What's the right word? Not an emotional thing, but it's going to be a... It's going to be a mental mind fuck somebody's trying to do, possibly. Yeah. And not a major one, but it's going to be a little bit of one. They're going to try you.
Yep. Alright. So hopefully that gives some clarity. That's an interesting interesting backstory there. Time to ground also, just for the record, has in it the need to have your third eye open. The need to have that connection, which I think you probably have a very solid connection there.
Yeah,
and
I would say
the conversation or the thing that's going to happen is probably not what it actually is. And I would say with the swords, it's probably client related, not personal. But who knows for sure? I feel like it's going to be a positive thing in the long run. Like it's going to be almost like, I don't want to say putting somebody in their place, but or even setting a boundary, because it's not that big a deal. It's just gonna be like, when it happens, you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is what that was about.
Yeah, I agree. I don't get the feeling that it's like a major thing.
I just think it's funny because we had shuffled like twice as long.
I know. She wanted to come out again.
Miss Paranormal, you are up next.
Oh, sweet, sweet Paranormal. Whoop whoop. Lord, forgive me, Paranormal. Was it this Tuesday, or it's Tuesday coming up, right? When you start
day, yay!
You didn't start Tuesday. It's in a few days. This week, Tuesday, right? Oh, that's funny.
Well, if you have another meeting with them this week, then they might. You might need to tell them where to sit and how to sit.
And get them coins first. Get them coins first.
Stupid.
Get paid first.
This Tuesday, that is so exciting.
Whoop, whoop. I think you are just going to... Well, one, I'm very happy for you. I know it's something you've needed and wanted, but I think you'll enjoy being around other people. Is it in an office, or is it... Are you working remotely from home?
Yeah, well, just remember, you've got a whole group of people out here that are rooting for you and holding some space for you, Paranormal, to help keep you calm and keep that anxiety down as much as possible. We got you in our minds, so we're going to help hold you up.
Yeah, we've been holding space for you in our minds and really in our thoughts. And
ooh, unexplained. Good morning.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better, Melvin. Are you feeling better?
Office jobs can be scary. Absolutely. I remember.
Did you get the Pedialyte and do the half and half? Probably not. But I hope you've been taking care of yourself and feel better.
Well, the storm passed without much incident.
I know, that was kind of anticlimactic.
Right. I am ready when you are.
Let's see, what does our sweet PW need? I have to. You saw how long I shuffled, right?
I did.
Okay. Well, honey, I don't know way to put this, but this is the third time The Queen of Pentacles has showed up. I have shuffled and shuffled and shuffled, and she wants to come out for different people for different reasons. So, take it this week. Don't be nervous. You did the prep work for this job. You got it. You manifested that shit. Now go rock it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You earned it.
The Queen is all about manifesting, and I think people get confused. She is not like, when we say she's interested in the finer things in life, it's because she's going to work hard to get them.
She worked for that shit. And didn't nobody hand it to her. So you got it. Don't be nervous. Go through it. Be confident. You worked. You earned it. And it's gonna be great. It's going to supply you with what you need from it. This job. All right?
And then the Messenger Oracle is you were born to create. We were all born to create, right? I think. But this is specific to your situation. Born to create. What does that mean? Does it mean you have to create something? Someone? Does it mean you have to create these big, massive projects and things? No, it just means it's starting. You were born to create and make things happen and to start things. So I think this is speaking directly about your new job, your new work, and that when you go there, you will be creating. You will create new friends with the people in the office. You will create new connections, and you'll create new things that you will be capable of doing, including just in your life in general. So be open to all of those things and recognize that that's where the stress can leave you, because you deserve to be just like anybody else with the hard work and everything that you're putting out there and the positivity that you're putting out there. You are going to create a space and create something that's better for you and your family.
Yes, Melvin, it is Morgan Greer, and it is, I think, my favorite deck. I've tried to get all these cutesy, artsy, fartsy ones about crows and Santa Muerte deck, and I just thought that a tattoo deck, all these things that are, and out of all of them, the Morgan Greer is my favorite.
I violently disagree. Sorry, I had to. It was there.
My kid says yes. Now you can buy me more toys. I know that's right.
I'm with you on that. Joy, you are up next. I see you already there in the chat. We are going to pull 2 cards for you. Yeah, this is a really nice oracle deck. It's very descriptive. It works well for what we call, or what I call, homework cards, right? What is it? You can do a full 10 card or 20 card or 30 card reading. A single messenger card tacked onto the end of it gives you a whole new meaning on what to do next. What's the first step you should take? And that's what we call a homework card. What do I need to take away from this and work on? So very helpful to me when I'm reading quickly and remotely. So there are 2 editions. It's by Raven Felon, I think. Raven Felon. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but there's 2 different versions of it. I like the second one. It's prettier to me, but they both have the same imagery, just laid out differently. Both beautiful decks. Joy, this is your read. Come up here and let's see what we get. Yeah, it's I don't even know where I found it. I've had the first edition for a very long time. I don't even know if you can get the first edition anymore. But again, for some reason, the second edition is prettier to me. Like it's a nicer imagery, as many second editions are. Alrighty.
Oh, those are pretty cards. Let's see you coming
Oh.
up fitting.
Oh, fitting. Oh, fitting.
Yours? Let me see yours.
These cards are like the same card.
Oh
in a
my
different
god.
Deck. Realization and culmination. What'd you call my mama? Culmination.
So, I love her. Her bare breast, one of them is showing on the cards. I don't know if you can see the bare breast. but I drew the world. Something that you've been working on is about to not climax. What's the other word? It's about to
Fully realized.
be fully realized.
The circle is completed, only to start again at some point. But the big
Yeah.
things that you're working on are here.
A big thing you've been doing is going to conclude.
Entering the next level, kind of too. Like this is the portal to going into that next piece of life, that
Right.
next train of things.
And you're getting ready to start over with something else.
Yeah.
That's
Or
cool.
add something to it. Maybe
Or
not
add
start
something
over.
to it. Yeah, maybe not start over.
And
That's
then
true.
the messenger oracle is a new dawn. A new day dawns.
Which, hello,
That we just said.
matches. Whoop, whoop.
Right. So the world generally represents whatever you've been doing and working on. It doesn't mean it's coming to an end. It just means it's reached its full realization. Like it is fully it is fully grown. It is matured. It is fully processable and accessible, and it's giving you back what you put into it. And the new day dawns is you're hopefully receiving that energy and receiving that, yeah, there's a new day here. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Things are so different than they were just a little while ago, but it is exactly where it's supposed to be. I think that I love that dragon. It's hard to see, but that is a golden dragon with her like rainbow aura wings. And
Ooh, rainbow aura.
they are just sitting there, and you can even the face is like, we got this. This is exactly where we're supposed to go. Ziggy, you are next.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think? I was looking at you funny. We'll do a last call. Ziggy is the last person on our list. We're right over 12:30, so this is perfect timing. But if anybody is in that we did not get a read to, if you would like a read from the Morgan Greer 1-card quick read, plus a Messenger Oracle homework card, please just let me know in the chat and we will add you to the list. But Miss Dreadful, Mrs. Dreadful, you are up next.
What's Ziggy working on? What does she need to...
I think Ziggy's manifesting. Oh, there's Ziggy. Hello.
I get the feeling that she's doing something.
You think
shuffling.
about like, and I'm not saying Ziggy, you've been MIA, because you've been really showing up for us and supporting us, and it's huge.
I think she's working on some stuff.
But there's something going on in the background that she's
Yeah.
been working on, and I really do feel that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if she knows it. Like things are like Plinko chipping together, or connect foring together somewhere. We will hit incense question paranormal witch because I love incense. Literally right after we do this read with Ziggy.
That is so cool. Aura pictures.
Yes, they are
Sounds
neat.
really cool.
Do you guys use the machine? Because there's like a special camera that they use to do that, or did you have somebody interpret, read, and draw it? Because that's cool. We'll talk about that. Because that is actually a big topic in my quantum energy healing class that I'm taking. That I need to take the final for, and I just keep putting it off every week. All right. What is Ziggy cooking?
Mm,
You can tell I'm getting hungry.
me too.
That was yours.
I see. I think that was a slip of the hand.
Probably. This chair's hurting my butt.
Ooh, it's a machine. That is cool. That sounds really cool. Oh, holy crap.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was looking into too not too long ago, but they are so freaking expensive.
Oh, wow.
I think they're really cool, but I do like it. I've had my aura read and done an aura photo where somebody actually utilized it and then kind of digitally built it into something and then drew out what they saw as the aura, which was really cool also. So it was more of a like a human interpretation of what it would look like, which I thought was pretty cool. I've never had it done with the machine. I've only read about it and seen it in some articles, so I think that is too cool. All right. Now I'm already getting so many repeat cards.
Well, I got a different one.
And you're only getting queens.
Yeah. What is the queens are in the house this morning, right? Oh. Okay. And I don't know anything that's going on or what you're working on, but I pulled the Queen of Cups. Ah! You're wise. Continue this week if somebody tries to guilt trip or play on your emotions. You know better than that. Continue with your intuition. You're in control of your thoughts. You're balanced right now. Continue that and don't allow what another person tries to possibly manipulate you in any way to do, because you got this. And whatever decision and whatever your inner self is guiding you to is the right decision.
And I pulled again after a lot of shuffling. You were born to create. Now the difference here is this is talking about channeling that emotional Queen of Cups energy into something that you're currently working on or will be working on, that's kind of changing for you. So something's a little bit different in your emotional state. I think more positive. Something is a little bit more set for you, or you made a decision that you feel a little bit better about, like a little bit less stressed on.
And
And
she's
utilize,
telling you
utilize
it's the right one.
Utilize that energy to create whatever it is you're working on or you're getting ready to start. Because that emotional energy is what you're going to pull into that new project and what's going to make that project successful. Whatever that project may be.
Yep.
So I hope you enjoyed
Hopefully
the
that
reads,
helped or
y'all.
meant something.
That's the first time I've ever really tried to push towards doing reads really fast, because I generally take a lot of time I talk fast.
Yeah.
But I generally take a lot of time with my individual reads for people, just because I like to go through them and really feel them out. But this was actually pretty good. I enjoyed, doing some card pulls and really talking about this manner. So if you guys like this way, let us know, because we're doing that for us, of course, as we enjoy it, but also just for the group, so that we can have these calls and topics and conversations. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And we did right on time. We started a little bit late with the tarot at like 12:05, so that means 12:40 was pretty much on target with what we were trying to do.
Would you like to open the circle?
Before we do, I don't want to miss Paranormal's incense
that's
question.
right.
So Paranormal, ask your incense question. We definitely have answers when it relates to that kind of stuff, or at least I do. I love it.
Aren't these beautiful?
Yes.
I like 'em. You definitely should read some.
Yes. Oh, yes. It is very draining. The more you do it, these quick tarots, there's still a connection there, so it still feels relatively draining to a degree. But it's always fun. It's always fun to kind of go through and really have these reads. It feels good to me to do them, and I just enjoy those conversations and those discussions of what we get into. So just doing a quick double check here. Other thing, I do not charge for any personal readings. I do them usually either over Discord or asynchronously, where I send you a link. So if you're interested in having a personal read, I'll be more than happy to do one. I don't do that many of them because of time, but I do tend to get 1 or 2 in a week. And I just enjoy doing them. So if you want a private reading, you would want to email the email address on the Two Pondering Pagans YouTube channel About Me section. So paranormal witch. So it depends. There are a lot of different types of incense. Is there anything specific that you are looking for paranormal? Because the smell, for me, there's a couple of things you can do with incense, and I don't know your reasoning for asking. So let me put it this way. Incense generally smells while it is burning and for a little bit afterwards. If something is in the way of the smoke, then the smoke scent will stick to it, so it will smell like it's smoked, right? So you'll get that, like just like any fire smoke, not necessarily the scent of the incense. But if you burn the incense consistently in a space, you'll start to smell that incense long term. So smoke, yes, can make things stink if you're in a small area. So be careful when the smoke. Allow it to be in an open area where it can rise by itself. It can set off a smoke detector. Usually it won't, but it can. It depends on your layout, your question, your area that you're in and how close your smoke detector is, and whether or not you have like air conditioning on, that kind of stuff. So it really depends. There are for me, my favorite incense, if I want to burn long with low scent, is coil incense, but it breaks really easy and you have to have a really specific thing to hold it up. It burns for a long time, but it's very low smoke. Stick incense is obviously the easiest. Cone incense is pretty easy, a little bit more smoke, less burn time. Powder incense, if you do it right, is pretty cool. Resin is going to have the most smoke and the most scent, and you will smell it in your whole house. But overall, places you can get incense, Amazon is really good for incense. Five Below, if you have a Five Below store, they also have really great incense sticks.
Yeah.
And then most, metaphysical shops will have different kinds, things like that. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure. From the Cauldron Witch, I would say that I would accept tips, but there's currently no way to actually tip me. I have not put that information together yet, even though I've been told I have to by a couple people. I just haven't, and it's not because I don't want to. I will accept anything anybody's willing to give me for whatever thing that occurs. That's kind of how I do it too. So, but it would never be an expectation, and I don't want anybody to ever feel like it was expected. So that's going to be kind of a big thing for me. But I am working on getting a tip set up, a donation set up actually for this channel to kind of really set up. I do have a PayPal. I literally haven't connected all the pieces together for it and linked it. That's all. I know it's easy, but when we get done with this show like this, we literally go straight to eat and watch TV for a little bit to relax because we need to kind of chill out. But I will do that and take care of it. But again, very, very, very important that nobody ever feels like they would have to tip for anything. And anything that anybody does tip me goes directly back into either tarot cards or stream anyway. When I was on Twitch I used to do reads on Twitch. I did have some tips there that goes right back into the stream stuff too. And we may start streaming again, games and shit. But anyway, one more question. Powder incense. Powder incense is super fun if you do it right. There's a couple different ways. You can either light a charcoal and pour the powder incense on it. It will burn immediately and it will smoke immediately. It'll be done. Or you can get a ceramic bowl or a cast iron bowl or a piece of something ceramic or metal, and you build like a little pyramid of the powder and you light the top of the powder and it will burn very similar to a cone.
Yeah. Definitely, Steph.
Definitely need to ground.
Yeah.
It has been a great episode. I am so excited that we were able to kind of work the timing, and I think this is really going to be beneficial for us and for everybody. I really, 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 really appreciate just spending the time with us, because if you're not in the chat, then we have nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
And that's what's made this fun.
That's the best part, and that was the whole intent, was to get to spend time with other like and different minded folks. So thank you for spending time with us.
Yes, remember that whatever your beliefs are, for us, that does not define who you are, and you are welcome in here, and you can share whatever you want to share whenever you want to share it. We want to keep it open, we're participatory. You have any topics you'd like us to cover, I don't mind doing some research. If you I don't know anything about blah blah blah, and I'm like, well, if you want to look at it, I'll look it up. We'll see what we can find. So yeah, thank you all so much. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And we are going to close our circle real quick, and then we will be done. You want to read it or do you want me to?
All right, I can do it. From the north, Widdershins to the east, undoing the circle that is cast. May it be open but never unbroken. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and a great rest of the weekend.
Bye.
Thank you, Dragon Dancer. Thank you, everybody. Love y'all. Love you.
Love.